Hello guys, today we will discuss 21 types of date and time DEX functions in Power BI. You can see here I already noted down all date and time DEX function definition from Microsoft official site, and today we will discuss each and every date and time DEX function in details with an example. So firstly we'll start from calendar auto DEX function. You just see the definition for calendar auto DEX function. Returns a table with a single column named date that contains a contiguous set of dates. The range of date is calculated automatically based on data in the model. That means if you are working with calendar auto DAX function, so it will returns a table with single column name date, right? And it will generate the date in sequence way. Now the range of date is calculated automatically based on data in the model. That means if you are working with calendar auto DAX function, at least one date column should be exist in your data model, and from that date column value it will generate the date, otherwise it will give you error. Now see the syntax for calendar auto DAX function. Calendar auto, and here they passed one expression. This one is optional. This is physical year and month. That means when you want to end your physical year month, and you can pass physical year and month between 1 to 12 month number, right? So to use calendar auto text function, at least one date column should be exist in your data model, right? Now see the logic for date range. Firstly, calendar auto text function find the minimum and maximum date from your data model, right? Now see the example. Suppose your min date is 1 March 2020 and max date is 1 March 2021. So it will generate the date from first month and day of min date year. That means in our data model, suppose min date year is 2020. So first month and day of min date year. So here min date is 2020 and first month means January and day is 1. So it will generate the date from 1st January 2020. And for max date, last month and day of max date year. That means if in our data model max date is 2021, so it will generate the date till last month and day of max date year. So that means last month is December and day is 31st, right? So it will generate the date till 31st December 2021. So hope you clear how calendar auto tax function works. Now I have one example. So you can see here, suppose we have three data set. This is data set 1, this is data set 2, and this one is data set 3, right? And in all data set we have some date column. So you can see here, for data set 1 we have 2 date column, for data set 2 we have 1 date column, and for data set 3 we have 1 date column. So overall we have 4 data column in 3 data set. So this is first requirement for calendar auto text function. You should be at least one date column exist in your data model, right? So here we have four date columns, right? So this is first requirement. So in step 1 it will find the date column in your all data set date column values, right? And in second step it will combine the all date column values in one single column. So you can see here, and that will be the backend activity in Power BI. So you can see here, this one is first date column value, and this one is second date column value, and this one is third, and this one is fourth column value, right? And after that in third step it will find the minimum and maximum date from all dataset date column value. So you can see here, this one is minimum date, right? And that one is maximum date here. Now on the basis of minimum and maximum date it will generate the date. Now back to the Power BI desktop file. So we clear how calendar auto text function works, right? Now we will create a practical. So go to the modeling tab and then click to table. Now give the table name. Suppose I give calendar auto, right? And after that write the calendar auto text function and then close the bracket, right? And then click to commit. Then close the DAX query. So you can see here under field section it will create the one calendar table with single column date, right? So according to definition, it is a table with a single column named date. Okay, now I'm going to drag date column in my table visual. So just select the date column and drag into value section, and then right click here and make it date. Now you can change the date time format to date. So just select the column, and from here you can select the DDMM format, right? So you can see here, see, it generates the date from 1st January 2015, and now I'm going to descending the order till 31st December 2021. So that means in my data model, minimum date year is 2015. So for minimum date year, it will take first month and day. So first month and day is January 1st and till 31st December 2021. So that means 2021 is max date year in my data model. So for max date year, it will take last month and day. So last month means December and day is 31st, right? So hope you clear how calendar auto works here. Now I will show you the calendar auto tags function with physical year and month. So in physical year and month, you can pass month number between 1 to 12. So for this, I have one example. Back to the Excel sheet. Now see the example. Suppose these are the data model date, and let's assume this one is my max date in my data model, 31st December 2020, and you passed physical year and month 3. That means you want to stop your physical year and month in March, right? But see the date month here, date month is December. So always remember one important point here: physical year and month cannot be end before max date in data model. So here my date is 31st December 2020, right? And you are passing physical year and month 3. So that means it will end your physical year month in next year 31st March 2021, right? Because you want to end your physical year month in March, right? And here date is, and here month is December. So obviously it cannot be end your physical year month before your data date model, right? So that's why it will end your physical year month in next year 31st March 2021. Now see the second date, 31st December 2020, and you passed physical year and month second. That means you want to stop your physical year and month in February, right? But in your data model, month is December, right? So that means it will end your physical year and month in next year 28 Feb 2021, right? Same for January. So it will end your physical year month in 31st January 2021. Now see the last date. Here date is 1st March 2020, and you passed physical year and month March, right? So here month is same, right? And here date is 1st March. So it will end your physical year month in 31st March 2020, right? Because here day is 1, right? And month is March. You passed March, so it will end your physical year month 31st March 2020, right? Now back to the Power BI file. See here, here I passed 3, right? Now click to commit. So according to 3, it will generate the date. See, it generate the date till 31st March 2021. Now I'm going to pass second, that means Feb. So click to commit. See, it generate the date 28 Feb 2022. One, because max date year is 2021 and you passed 2, right? So that's why it generate the date till 28 Feb 2022. So hope you clear how calendar auto dash function with physical year and month, right? Now move to the next dash function, that is calendar. So calendar is very simple dash function. On the basis of your given date, it will generate the calendar table, right? Suppose you need a calendar table for your data model, so you can use calendar text function. So see the definition: returns a table with a single column named date that contains a contiguous set of tables. So when you will use calendar text function, it will create a table with single column named date, same like calendar auto text function. And see the syntax: calendar, start date and end date, right? Now click to the modeling tab and then click to the table. Give the name for table, so I give calendar. Now write the calendar DAX function and then write the start date. So before type the start date, you have to write date DAX function and then write the year 2019, then comma month January and comma day first, right? So this is our start day. Copy the start day, then write comma and paste here for end date, and now change the year 2020 and change month December and day is 31st, right? Now close the bracket. So you can see here, this is syntax for calendar DAX function, right? So here we write start date. So I want to generate date from 1st January 2019 till 31st December 2020, right? So before date you have to write date function, right? Then click to commit. So it will generate the table with single column name date, right? So you can see here it generates the table calendar with single column name date. Now I'm going to drag date column in my table visual. See, now right click here and change it date, and you can change the date time format to date. So select the column, then click here and select ddmmyy. So you can see here it generates the date from 1st January 2019 because in start date I passed 1st January 2019, right? And now I'm going to descending the date column. See, till 31st December 2020. Okay guys, one more important thing is here. If I added 40 days in December month, so what will be happen? It will give me error or not? So in that case, it will not give me error. It will add extra day in December month and move to the year in next month. See, here I added some extra day in December month. So in place of 31, I mentioned 40, right? And then I click to commit. See what will happen. See, now it is generating date till 9th of January 2021, right? Because here I added some extra day in December month, right? So that is all about calendar DAX function, right? So hope you clear how calendar DAX function works. Now move to the next DAX function, and that is now versus today DAX function. So firstly see the definition. Now DAX function returns the current date and time in the datetime format, and today DAX function returns the current date, right? So you can see the output for both DAX function. Now function returns the date with time, right? And today DAX function returns only date and it will return the default time 12 a.m., right? Now I will show you the measure for both. So you can see here, first I will show you the now measure. See, this is very simple DAX function. Just write the function name now, open the bracket and close the bracket, then click to commit. So it will return the date and time, right? Now I will show you the today measure. So it is also simple. Just write the today and open the bracket and close the bracket and then click to commit. So it will return the today date with default time, right? So hope you clear how now and today DAX function works in Power BI. Now move to the next DAX function, and that is date diff DAX functions, right? So here we have many types of date diff function, that is day, week, month, quarter, year, and second, hours, and minute. So we will discuss all types of date and diff function step by step. So firstly, to get the date difference, we need two date, right? So you can see here in my data set, I have two date. One is order date and second one is end date. Let's assume this one is start date and this one is end date, right? So firstly, we will get date difference on the basis of two date. So for this, just right click to your data set and then select the new column. When you click to new column, it will create new column, right? And then write the DAX function for day, right? So firstly rename the column. So here my column name is day diff, then write the date diff dax function, this is dax function date diff, then open the bracket and in first argument pass the start date. In my case my start date is order date, right? Then comma, and in second argument pass end date, and after that comma, and third argument is interval, and in interval you can pass day because I want to get day difference between two dates, so it will return the day counts. Okay, and then click to commit. So when you click to commit, it will return the day count on the basis of two date, right? Now we will get week difference between two dates, right? So process will be same. Just right click to your data set, then select new column, right? And then write the dax for week. So see, this is my column name week difference, and write the date diff function, then open the bracket, in first argument write the start date, then comma, in second argument write the end date, and in third argument this is interval, and here pass the week, right? Because I want to get week difference on the basis of two dates, right? And then click to commit, right? So when you click to commit, then drag your column into table visual, and it will return the week difference on the basis of two date, right? Same you will get month. So let me show you the month dax function. See, firstly you will create column, just right click your data set and then select new column, and then write the text. See, this is column name month difference, and date diff is function. Open the bracket, in first argument pass start date, then comma, in second argument pass end date, then comma, and in third argument pass the month, right? And then click to commit. So it will returns the month difference count on the basis of two date, right? Now we will get quarter difference on the basis of two date. So process will be same, but just right click your data set name, and then select the new column, and then write the text for quarter difference. So quarter difference is my column name, date diff is my dax function name, then open the bracket, then write the start date, then comma, in second argument pass end date, then comma, and in third argument pass quarter, right? So it will return the quarter difference on the basis of two dates, right? Now we will get year difference on the basis of two date. So create new column, and then write the dax function for year difference. Year difference is my column name, you can see here, and then write the date diff function. Open the bracket, first argument pass start date, in second argument pass end date, and in third argument pass year. So it will return the count of date difference on the basis of two column, right? So hope you clear how you will get day difference, week difference, month difference, quarter difference, and year difference from two dates using date diff dax function, right? Now we have three more date diff function, that is second, hour, and minute, right? So I will show you all three dax function. Firstly you have to create column for second difference, and then write the dax for second difference. See, second difference is my column name, then write the date diff dax function, open the bracket, first argument pass start date, in second argument pass end date, and in third argument pass second. So it will return the second difference between both date, right? Now I will show you the hours difference between two dates. So firstly create the column for hour difference, and then write the dax for hour difference. Firstly rename the column hours difference, then date if is my dax function, then open the bracket, in first argument pass the start date, then in second argument pass the end date, and in third argument pass the hour, right? So it will return the count of hours on the basis of two dates, right? Now I will show you the minute difference dax functions. So it is also same, create the one column for minute difference, then write the dax function for minute, right? So minute difference is my column name, date difference is my dax function name, and then open the bracket, in first argument pass start date, and in second argument pass end date, and in third argument pass minute, right? So it will return the minute difference on the basis of two date. So hope you clear all date diff dax functions, right? Now move to the next dax function, and that is time versus time value. So both are very simple function, just see the definition. time dex function converts hour, minute and second given as a numbers to a time in date time format. So this function returns the time with date, right? And now see the time value dex function converts a time in text format to a time in datetime format, right? It will also return the time with date. So you can see the output for both dex function. So time dex function returns the date and time, and time value dex function also returns the date and time. Now see the difference. So firstly I will show you the time dex function. So you can see here this is time dex function measure, right? Time dex function is my measure name. Here I mentioned dex function time, then open the bracket. So here you can pass three argument in number. So first number denotes the hour, second number denotes the minute, and third number denotes the second, right? So see the description. A number from 0 to 23 representing the hour, a number from 0 to 59 representing the minute, a number from 0 to 59 representing the second. So here you will pass number, and first number always denote the hour, second number always denote the minute, and third number always denote the second, right? And then click to commit. So here I mentioned 23 hour 12 minute 45 second. So it will return the time. See, now it is returning the time with the date 11 hour 12 minute 45 pm. Reason behind here I passed 23 hour 12 minute 45 second. So 23 means here I passed 23, so obviously it is showing time in pm, right? Now I'm going to change time. So instead of 23, suppose I give 6, right? Then click to commit. See, now it will return 6 hour 12 minute 45 second am. So you can see here, see, 6 hour 12 minute 45 second am with date. Now I will show you the time value text function. So if we return the same result but in different way, here you have to pass time in text format. So you can see here I pass time in text format 3 hours 45 minute 30 second. So it will return time 3 hours 45 minute 30 second am. See, and now I'm going to change time. Suppose I pass 23 hour 45 minute 30 second. So it will return the 11 hour 45 minute 30 second pm, right, with date. See, I forget to commit, so just click to commit, and now see the time. See, 11 hour 45 minute 30 second pm. Okay, so both function returns the time with date. Only one difference, in time value text function we pass the argument as in text format, right? And in time we pass the argument in number format, right? So hope you clear difference between time versus time value text function. Now move to the next text function, and that is e-date versus EO month, right? So to understand both e-date and EO month, I create one example. So back to the Excel file. So you can see here data. So firstly we'll discuss e-date DAX function, right? So let's assume this is your EMI date, right? Suppose in first month you pay the EMI on 1st January 2020, right? And in every month you pay the EMI, and after 1 month your EMI due date will be 1st Feb 2020, right? Because you are going to pay EMI after 1 month, right? So that's why your next EMI date will be on same day but in next month, right? So that will be 1 Feb 2020. Now let's assume you are going to pay EMI in every 2 month, right? So here date is 2nd January 2020, and now you are going to pay after 2 months. So your next EMI due date will be 2nd March 2020, right? So you can achieve this output using eDate DAX function. Here you have to pass only month, and it will show you the your next due date, right? Now back to the Power BI desktop file. So you can see here, let's assume this one is my order issue date, right? And I want to expire all issue order after 2 months on same day, right? So you can see here this is the output of eDate DAX function. Here is order issue date is 1/9/2015. Here 9 is month, right? So EDate text function returns the 1/11/2015. Day is same, only month is changing, right? So here month is 9. Now I want to expire all issue order after 2 months. So if you added 2 in 9 months, so it will show you the 11, right? Now see the second date. Here date is 8/9/2015, and e date dash output is 8/11/2015, right? So now it is showing me all order cancel date on the basis of passes month. So here I pass 2, right? Let me show you the DAX for edate function. See, edate DAX is my column name. Here I simply write edate DAX function, then open the bracket, then I give the date. This is my order issue date. Let's assume this is my order issue date, and here I want to expire all issue order after 2 months on same day, right? Now I'm going to expire same order after 1 month on same day, right? Then I click to commit. So you can see here my order issue date is 1 September 2015, right? Now it is showing me order expire date is 1 October 2015. So you can see here my order date is 8 8 September 2015, and order expire date is 8 October 2015 on same day, right? Now instead of 1 month, I'm going to pass 3 months, right? And then click to commit. So you can see here order date is 1/9/2015. Now it is showing 1 December 2015. See here order date is 8/9/2015. Now it is showing 8/12/2015 on same day, right? So hope you clear how edate DAX function works. Now I'm going to explain you EO month, right? So back to the Excel file. Now see the example for EO month, right? So let's assume this is my order issue date 1st January 2020, and here I passed 1 month. So it will expire my order on February 28, 2020. Reason behind end of month. So end of day is 28 for February. And now here my date is 2nd January 2020, right? And here I passed 2 months. 2 month means March, and in March month we have 31 days, so it will expire my order on 31st March 2020, right? That means every month last day, right? So here I added 1 month, so in February we have 28 days, so that's why it will expire on 28 February 2020. Here I added 2 months, so that means March, in March month we have 31 days, so it will expire my order on 31st March 2020. So hope you clear how EO month works. Now back to the Power BI file, and firstly I will show you the DAX for EO month. So you can see here, just create the one column. EO month is my column name, and here I passed EO month DAX function, then open the bracket, and then in first argument pass the order date, and then pass the 1 month, right? I want to expire all order after 1 month. Okay, so now see the output. See here my date is 1st September 2015. I added 1 month, right, in EO month DAX function. So it will expire my all order October 31st, because you know very well in October we have 31 days, right? Same here my next date is 8/9/2015. So 9 means September. I added 1 month, so in October we have 31 days. So that's why it will expire my all order on 31 October 2015, right? So that's why DAX function name is end of month, right? So in October we have 31 day, right? So hope you clear how end of month works in Power BI. Now move to the next DAX function, and that is year fraction, right? So firstly we will understand what is year fraction. So move to the Excel file. Now see the example for year fraction. Suppose you have one pen packet, and under that pen packet you have 6 pen. right? And out of 6 you give me 1 pen. Now I have 1 by 6 pen. That means out of 6 I have 1 pen, right? And you have 5 out of 6, so that is called fraction. See, I have 1 by 6, that means I have 1 pen out of 6 and you have 5 pen out of 6, so that is called fraction, right? So in Power BI you can get the year fraction on the basis of to date, right? So firstly I will show you the DAX function for year fraction. See, just create the one column and now see the DAX function for year fraction. So firstly see the syntax for year fraction. So year fraction, pass the start date and then end, and basis is optional. So in basis you can pass 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. When you pass 0, so it will work like US and SD formula 30 by 360, and in if you will pass 1 it will work like this, and if you pass 4 it will work like this. There is some inbuilt calculation, right? So here you just pass start date and end date, so it will automatically calculate the year fraction on the basis of two dates, right? See, and it will return the result. And also you can read the article about year fraction in Google if you want to know in details, right? Now move to the next DAX function, that is how you will get day, month, quarter, year, weekday number from given date. So that is very simple. So I will show you the one by one all DAX functions for day, month, quarter, year and weekday, right? So firstly I will show you the day, and you can see here create one more column. And see, this is simple DAX function, right? Day is my column name, write the day, this is DAX function, and give the date, so it will return the current day from your date, right? So you can see here my day is 1, so that's why it returns the day. And for month, my month is 9, so it returns a 9. And quarter is 3, right? And year is 2015, weekday is 3, and weekday number is 36, right? So now I will show you the DAX for month. So you can see here this is month DAX. Simply I write month DAX function and then I give the date, so it will return the month from current date, right? Now I will show you the quarter DAX function. So you can see here this is very simple. Simply I write quarter DAX function and then I give the date, so it will return the quarter number, right? Now I will show you the how you will get year from given date. So you can see here I simply write year and then I give the date, so it will return the current date from your given date. So it will returns the current year from your given date, right? Now I will show you the how you will get weekday from your given date, right? So now you can see here this is simple DAX function. Here I write weekday, this is DAX function, and in first argument you can pass your date, and in second argument you can pass 1, 2, 3. So 1 means if you want to start your week from Sunday to Saturday, then you can pass 1, and if you want to start your week from Monday to Sunday, then pass 2, and in 3 and pass 3 if you want to start your weekday from Monday to Sunday, right? So accordingly you can pass 1, 2, 3 in second argument, then it will returns the your weekday. See, right? Now I will show you the how you will get weekday number from given date. So this is also simple. Simply write week number, open the bracket and then give the date, and in second argument you can pass 1 and 2 if you want to start your week from Sunday, right? Then write 1, and if you want to start your week from Monday, then write 2. Then you will get week number, right? This is also simple. See, so hope you clear how you will get day, month, quarter, year, weekday and weekday number from given date, right? Now move to the next DAX function, and that is UTC today and UTC now. So both are simple DAX function, both returns the date and time, but only one difference. UTC today works like today, it will return only date and returns the default time, you can see here. And UTC now works like the now DAX function, it will returns day and time, right? Now I will show you the measure for both. So you can see here this is UTC now, Simply I write DAX function UTC now, then open the bracket and close the bracket, then click to the commit. Now I will show you the UTC today measure. So you can see here I simply write UTC today and then open and close the bracket. Right guys? Okay guys, so finally we completed all 21 types of date and time DAX functions. If you like my work, just like, share and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get latest notification on Power BI video. Thank you guys.